out-of-body experience.
Welcome to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast with your host Logan and
Hayden.
And we are back with another Wrestling Rewind episode. Today, we go back in time a little bit further than the ECW One Night Stand 2005. We go back to Backlash 2003. And the reason this one is notable and worth going back and watching is because this is the debut of Goldberg versus The Rock in the main event. And it is The Rock's last match until WrestleMania 20 when he comes back to team up with Mick Foley versus Evolution. So it's worth going back and watching because there are some good matches on this show, and especially the Rock hype package at the beginning. The show, the pay-per-view basically opens up with a Rock Goldberg hype package, and it's just the whole time it's just Rock trashing Goldberg in his different promos over the span before the build up to the pay-per-view. So what are your thoughts on Backlash 2003, Hayden?
Yeah, it was Backlash 03. I look at it as like the turning point of WWE at that point.
Okay.
They just came off a really great WrestleMania. It was that first WrestleMania on the WWE banner, and they went off with a bang with the main event. And Backlash 03 was kind of their time to kind of reset. A lot of the big names were leaving. Austin just retired. Rock was getting ready to leave, go back to Hollywood. You know, your big time stars were kind of starting to trickle out.
Mm-hmm. But they needed that influx of Goldberg.
Yeah, so this was kind of their little reset into the new ruthless aggression era here that they're getting ready to start. So yeah, it's a good solid card, and there's definitely some decent matches. It's all built around Goldberg.
Yeah, there's some moments in here that are totally early 2000s WWE, and we'll get to those. But
yes,
the card opens with match number 1, the WWE Tag Team Championships, Team Angle versus Los Guerreros.
Classic tag match.
Yeah, it's a classic Eddie match. You got a little lying, a little cheating, a little stealing, and it's a good match. I love watching Shelton Benjamin wrestle. Anytime I can see Shelton Benjamin wrestle is a good time because he's just he's a freak athlete. Like you don't see, nobody talks about Shelton Benjamin, but he's a generational type athlete.
Oh, for sure.
People underestimate him and overlook him because he's not the best on the mic or the most charisma. But when that man gets in the ring, he's a generational type of athlete. He's got the skills to pay the bills. So
yeah, nobody else is doing what Shelton's doing.
No, even nowadays, what he's doing in AEW, he's got the. I mean, he wrestles like a heavyweight now. It's crazy. He's put on so much muscle, but he's great. So watching Team Angle. And they come out with the picture of Kurt because Kurt's not there at Backlash 2003.
Yeah, Kurt got surgery.
So they come out, him and Haas, Benjamin and Haas, come out with a picture of Kurt Angle. They got the gold medals around the portrait. Yeah, the fake gold medal, not the real one. And they only broke that on certain occasions.
Yeah.
But they have that, and they put that down so that Kurt's watching over them as they have this match, and it's a classic one. It's back and forth, and then you get Team Angle stealing the win with Shelton holding down Chavo's leg, and Haas reverses a suplex and falls onto Chavo for the win.
Yeah, they kind of pulled the old Guerrero on the Guerrero.
Yeah, they pulled the Guerrero. Yeah, but then that doesn't end there.
Good match.
Eddie and Chavo attack the Team Angle after the match and take the titles with them as they leave.
Yep, they steal those titles. I mean, the Los Guerreros played perfectly in the lie, cheat, and steal gimmick. They were doing, and they kind of helped what got Eddie to the next level there. So,
and we talked about this when we were watching the pay-per-view. We talked about, because I asked you about nobody really does it like Eddie does it, and then we talked about Dom, how Dom's been doing more stuff nowadays. He's kind of built that Eddie essence. But then I talked about how Chavo never really got that shot, and you said that Chavo just didn't really have it. He didn't work that way.
No, yeah. Chavo just didn't have the it. There's just something about Eddie that he had the it, no matter what he was doing.
Yeah.
When he was the Latino Heat character, doing this with Chavo, and then when he went on to be the in the main event picture, he just always had that it factor. Chavo was like if you took Eddie, and then you just like took all his charisma away. That's Chavo, which it sucks because Chavo's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
But he just never had it. Even when he goes after, when they end up splitting for Los Guerreros and he does the cruiserweight title run he gets
I
with
remember
his
that.
papa. He just never had it. I mean, they had to have his dad with him just to have any kind of charisma.
True.
He just never had that charisma for that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's too bad for him.
it just never worked out for him. And
But when he was with
great
Eddie,
worker though.
When he was with Eddie,
yeah, but he could play off of Eddie,
Yeah.
and that helped him. But that only could last so
So we
long,
get
but
the Guerreros going back to the locker room with the titles. They have the sparkling green
Yeah.
lowrider, and they're doing a promo as they leave. So classic
I
Eddie
gave
stuff.
that a 3.25.
All right, 3.25.
Decent match. Decent tag match. It's the tag team division on SmackDown was really coming together there after they did the brand split.
Mhm.
Because they had the big feud with the Guerreros and Benoit Angle and Edge and Ray. And then that kind of led to the Guerreros going off of taking that tag team division by themselves.
Yeah.
And then Team Angle came along and kind of helped keep building that up. And my favorite move Shelton does is that hesitation spinning kick.
Mm.
That thing, you don't see anyone. I mean, there's a few people that can do that. RVD kind of had a variation of that.
Yeah, but nobody does it nowadays.
But Shelton it's just so smooth.
Mm-hmm. That's just how he did it. He was smooth and everything.
Yeah, and it was like one of those moves where it's like, oh, it's a setup move. Like, you know how some wrestling moves, it's obvious that it's being set up to do this move.
Mm-hmm.
Like in a real life fight, no one would actually do something like this.
Yeah.
But it's so executed so well that you don't even care. You're just like, I love that move.
It's a great move. I also love their move where Haas has the person, they're hanging from the ropes and on his shoulders. And then
you don't see anyone do that anymore.
And then Benjamin jumps over him and lands on his back, his lower back.
That's one thing I'll say about the new generation now. Everything's so high flying and everything. Like they do there's tag team moves, but like the bare knuckle tag team moves, like that kind of thing, you just don't see that kind of stuff.
It's kind of a lost art. There's not really any. It's a lot of put together tag teams. You don't really see a lot of guys that have been together for a while.
No, it's not a thing anymore. You got the few teams out there like FTR and those kind of teams, but most of the teams now are just teams that I mean, who just won tag titles? AJ and Dragon Lee.
AJ Lee.
Like, what a weird pair to put together there. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird the way they do things now.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
It just never really makes sense to me.
So we move on from Eddie and Chavo's promo backstage. They stay backstage and they go to Test talking with Tori Wilson about how he's seen her in Playboy.
Oh, Test.
And he's also tries to kiss her and it doesn't really go down very well. It's creepy promo, but that's classic.
That was Test.
That's classic.
That's Test.
So we go from that, and Sable, I forgot to mention, Sable sees Tori Wilson walk away, and she saw the whole thing. She's kind of like the instigator.
Yeah, Sable and Tori were doing the thing where she
wasn't she dating her dad or something?
No, that was Don.
Oh, that was Don. Okay.
That just happened. That was just ended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he died, remember?
That's right. He did die.
Yeah, he dies.
All right.
Yeah, but Sable and her were kind of at odds, but like friends at the same time, and they had a weird dynamic going on at this point. And Vince didn't even remember Sable was there.
Yeah, from his documentary.
So she's just showing up.
So we cut to, excuse me, the ring, and Roddy Piper comes out to introduce the new millennium, Sean O'Haire, which I guess you got to give him credit for trying to build a new guy, but Sean O'Haire's the guy.
Yeah, they never really gave him a chance, but
and that leads to after the promo, that leads to match number 2, Sean O'Haire versus Rikishi, and it's a kind of slow match. It's
one.
It's a Sean O'Haire Rikishi match. I mean, anything that you expect from it is what you get from it.
Yeah, they're playing off of the Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, I have that in here. Piper, he gets involved. He tries to hit Rikishi with the coconut, but it's used against him, and Piper gets hit with it. And then Sean O'Haire capitalizes on that and hits Rikishi with his finishing move, which I didn't write down because I couldn't remember what it was called.
Hair bomb.
No, I don't think so. And Sean O'Haire wins, so it's a fine match. Like,
Hairy bomb.
I hope not.
Anything involving hair.
And then, like you said, it's a
That's what
one-star
they went
match.
with.
So
Yeah, they great.
then we cut backstage back to the Tori Olson drama, and we get Sable and Stacy Keibler talking backstage because Stacy Keibler and Test are dating, and Sable basically spills the tea on Test trying to hook up with Tori, trying to kiss her on all that kind of stuff, and Stacy not too happy about that. So obviously she's gonna go confront Tori later on in the show, and you'll figure this out throughout the show as we talk about it. Just a weird through line of the entire Backlash show is just Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler drama.
Yeah, I was like, this card's not good enough. We need to have a little weird dynamic going on backstage.
But it's just it's a through line throughout the entire show. It's very weird.
Uh-huh.
So then we cut from that to RVD and Kane having a backstage promo about how they want to keep the tag team titles. And then we cut to match number 3, the World Tag Team Championships, RVD and Kane versus the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, good match on paper. Not the greatest match execution.
We get Chief Morley, Val Venus, as a special guest referee.
Yeah, I never really liked this Chief Morley gimmick.
Val Venus was so much funnier and more
It was just
inappropriate and would not ever go over nowadays, but
no,
it was better.
I mean, it was Chief Morley was just the annoyance. They always had to have that annoying guy.
Go over for people who don't know, go over the Chief Morley, how Chief Morley came to be.
Well, he came out and I forget now I gotta try to remember. He either got lost somehow and he had to go into the gimmick, or he like got serious for some reason. I forget exactly how he went into the.
Was this after Choppy Choppy Pee Pee?
Oh yeah. This is just like recent.
Okay.
I don't know if it happened after he was in Right to Censor, and then he kind of because he was in Right to Censor. You gotta have all this come back to me now. And then he came back once Right to Censor ended. He came back as a big Valboski. Like he didn't call himself Venus.
Yeah, because didn't the movie just come out, or maybe the movie
it was around that time. Yeah, it was around that time because that was 1998, and so he was doing that gimmick, and he got hurt, and then he was gone for a while, and then he came back under Eric Bischoff. That's right, because Eric Bischoff hired him. That was kind of how he made his return.
Okay,
but he came back under his real name, and then he became the what was it, Chief? It was Chief something, but he just went by Chief Morley.
Okay.
And then he got in a feud with the Dudleys, and that's how that all started.
Yes. So. Oh, you have more?
I was just gonna say that he ended up aligning with Regal and Storm, to face RVD and Kane at WrestleMania.
Okay.
But the Dudleys helped it. The Dudleys and him had this weird dynamic because he was against them, but then they had to help him.
Yeah, because the storyline throughout the whole match of this match between RVD and Kane and the Dudleys is JR and or not JR, it's King and Coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so King and Coach are talking about how they're wondering if Chief Morley's going to be fair, call it down the middle, or if he's going to be in favor of the Dudleys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was kind of this weird dynamic where the Dudleys would help him, but they were rivals because they didn't want to get fired. It was just this whole weird dynamic, which affected the match. And
yeah, so
I'm not a big fan of those kind of special referee matches, really.
So things start to break down. Kane comes into the ring, fights Bubba, grabs him, Googles him for the choke slam, and
Googles him?
No, Goozles him.
You said Google.
I didn't say.
Was
Google.
he looking him up online?
I said Goozle.
Okay.
For the choke slam.
You Google me and you tell me what you said.
Okay, Kurt Cinetti. Chief Morley low blows him. Then we get more of the match. Devon eventually takes out Morley and starts beating him up. Lance Storm comes to the ring, but literally does nothing and gets hit with a bubble bomb.
Yep. Classic Lance Storm.
And then the Dudleys hit Chief Morley with a 3D, take him out of the match. Kane hits the choke slam, and RVD hits the frog splash on Bubba for the win. So they retain the tag team
Yeah,
titles.
I gave it a 2.75. It's fine for a tag match. The other one was better earlier, but that's fine. The Raw tag team titles were never really in good shape at this time.
Yeah.
They really didn't find a good home for them. I like the team of Kane and RVD. They just got stuck in a like. If it was just a Kane RVD versus Dudley's match, I'd probably like it better.
And this is
It's all the extra stuff.
this is close to when he rips the mask off when he starts going unhinged, right?
He's kind of teaming with RVD up until the point where he loses the mask.
Yeah, because RVD's in the ring when it happens.
Yeah, because RVD comes out to help him. Yeah, that's why he does the whole evolution thing.
So then we cut after the win for RVD and Kane. We go backstage, and Stacy confronts Tori Wilson in the women's locker room. They argue, and then they get into a fight. Cat fight.
Yeah,
And
fight.
then I think Stacy, she like hits her head on something, or maybe that's a little later.
Yeah, I think she hits her head there.
But then we go to match number 4, which is the women's championship. A lot of titles on the line in this card.
Mm-hmm.
Women's championship: Trish Stratus versus Jazz with Theodore Long, not Teddy Long, Theodore Long.
Yeah, he was in his managerial spot.
So we get before Trish comes out, Jazz comes out first, and Teddy cuts a promo about how Jazz is going to get vindicated. Then we get Trish's entrance to the match starts. We go through the match. Jazz unhooks the middle rope, padding stuff, but then gets rolled up in a pin for Trish to win. But ref Charles is distracted by fixing the rope.
No, Charles.
Yeah, Charles. He can sprint all he wants, but he gets distracted too many times. Trish hits the Stratisfaction, goes for the pin, but Teddy throws his shoe in the ring to break up the pin.
Yeah, which was so random.
Trish gets distracted by Teddy, and then Jazz pins her, grabs the rope for the win, and Trish is the new champ, or Jazz is the new champ. She got vindicated.
Yep. Teddy pulled it through.
Good job, Theodore.
It was a 2.
It's a classic Trish match back then. She didn't really have a lot to work with.
Trish hadn't hit her stride yet, though.
Yeah, she hadn't had Mickie James yet.
It takes her till about end 04, beginning 05 when she really hits her wrestling stride. So it was fine.
Did you give a star rating for that one?
I said 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Jazz is fine, but nothing special.
So we cut to that. Backstage, Booker T, Shawn, and Kevin Nash are having a backstage promo about if they're all ready for their match tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to Cole and Taz setting up the Big Show Rey Mysterio match by showing Rey embarrassing Big Show the past couple weeks on SmackDowns.
All right.
And then we get to match number 5, Rey Mysterio versus the Big Show. And yeah, this match, I mean, the match is good. Post-match is where we're going to talk. So
yeah, it's a short little match.
Rey uses quickness.
I give it a 2.25.
2.25. Rey's quicker than Big Show, obviously, so he uses that in the match to stay away from Big Show, but Big Show finally catches up to him, starts beating him up. Rey gets a chair to rock the Big Show, but while the ref is distracted, Rey gets Big Show on his knees, hits the 619, goes for the West Coast pop. Can't hit that on the Big Show. Gets caught, hit with a choke slam for the win. Big Show takes the W. And then Rey, after the match, is hurt, so refs call for a stretcher. They put Rey on the stretcher. Everything's normal. Big Show's going back to the locker room, and then he comes back out, grabs Rey while he's still attached to the stretcher. So he's got the big longboard, the backboard, and he's all strapped up. He grabs that, swings him like a baseball bat to the steel ring pole, and smacks him on it, and then Rey he lets go. Rey falls to the ground. He can't cover his like brace his fall or anything, so his face just smacks right off the floor.
Yeah, that part was the worst part of it.
Yeah, that's probably worse than taking the bump on the pole.
Yeah, I think when they were talking about this, no one thought about his arms are going to be strapped.
Yeah, so he couldn't brace his fall.
So he's just going to fall flat on his face. God,
yeah, it's a brutal spot. It's one of the most brutal. It's the reason they show don't try this stuff at home. All kinds.
Yeah, if you're a wrestling fan, you've seen this spot.
Yeah, this is a classic. This is a classic WWE spot, and it's disgusting every time I see it.
It's just one of those things where they're throwing this idea out. I guarantee it, and no one said what happens when he can't catch himself.
They probably thought he might be able to like get his wrists up and brace his fall a little bit, but or maybe they thought they wouldn't strap him in as hard or something or as tight.
Yeah. Well, they had to strap him tight
So
because
that
if he's not tight, he's not going to stay on the
yeah,
board.
yeah.
So it didn't. Yeah, you just didn't think they needed to
They
have
didn't
one
think
of his
that
arms
far.
out. He should have had one of his arms out.
Yeah.
So he could at least block his head.
Yeah, they didn't think that
Because
far.
he smacks.
Yeah,
his
and
head
I
in
think
that.
because the camera stays on Ray as they're trying
he's
to.
out cold for at least
I
a
think the
couple
refs are
seconds.
seriously concerned about him after they see him hit the floor. I wonder if anybody's ever asked him about that. I think CVV asked him.
I'll say, man,
I can't
check that out.
I can't remember.
CVV, if you want to come on, we can talk about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So we go from Ray being concussed to Triple H, Jericho, and Ric Flair backstage cutting a promo with Lillian Garcia about Shawn and Kevin Nash and who was the other guy, Booker T?
Yes, Booker T.
Yeah.
Why do you got disrespect?
I'm sorry, I forgot who it was. So we get them, and Triple H is doing his thing, Jericho's doing his thing, everybody's doing their thing.
King of the world, baby.
Yeah, and then we get to Tori and Stacy still fighting backstage. This is when it happens. So Tori throws Stacy into some crates backstage, and something falls on her head. And Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, because he's always backstage,
helps her.
Good catering, comes to check on her and eventually picks her up to take her to get help. But Test interrupts that because he's jealous. Big jelly.
Of course he is.
He's very fragile ego.
Yeah, tiny testicles.
Tiny testicle. His fans were called the Testicles, weren't they?
Yeah, little tiny testicles.
So after that, they cut back to Cole and Taz, and they're setting up Brock versus Cena, which is just insane to think about where we are nowadays. But which leads to a hype package about what happens between Cena and Lesnar, how we got to this point, and then we get to match number 6, WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5. I like this match. It's definitely not as good as what you get later on when Cena's his prime.
Yeah, Cena's still starting to figure things out.
Yeah, Cena's not anywhere near where he was. I mean, Cena kind of got thrown to the wolves here because with Angle gone, they need a new guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, he went from not being on the WrestleMania 19 card to now your next pay-per-view, he's in your co-main event in a WWE Championship match. And you can tell he just wasn't ready for it.
It's a good thing everything worked out in the end,
to be in that spot. Yeah, he wasn't in the spot to be in.
He wasn't ready yet.
He wasn't even in his prime of that character yet. He was barely in that character, let alone ready to fight Brock.
But it's a typical Brock match, although I will mention Brock has been busted open before the match. He had some bandage and stuff on his forehead, so because that'll come back into play here as he gets re-busted open after taking a headshot on the steel steps. And when it comes to Brock, when it comes to Brock, I imagine it's the hard way every time.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And then Cena hits a low blow.
The post.
Yeah, Cena hits a low blow, rolls up Lesnar, almost gets the win. Cena grabs the chain to hit Lesnar, but the ref stops him. Lesnar grabs him, gets him up in the F5 for the win. Fun fact, Cena named the FU after Brock Lesnar's F5 to make fun of him.
Yeah, that's the one thing that comes out of this feud for him.
Yeah.
That he gets the FU. So.
But Lesnar gets him in the F5, hits it with him, and gets the win, stays champion.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, typical Brock match. Yep.
You knew it was going to be like that.
Cena wasn't ready. No.
Until Kirk can come back. Really.
Yeah. So then we get Coach and King setting up the 6-man tag, which leads to a video package. A lot of video package on the show. That goes tells you how explains how we got to Triple H, Jericho, and Flair versus Michaels, Nash, and Booker T.
Yeah, that was back then. They did that for basically almost every match. That's just how
they should do that more now. There's a severe lack of video packages now.
Yeah, they were big into the big time video package every match, get everybody caught up. That was how they did it back then. They kind of got it, especially with WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, it works for us because for us who go back and watch it and forget what happens or some of the finer details that happen on Raw and SmackDown, it helps.
Yeah, I mean, there just was such a formula back then.
Yeah. It's video package match,
backstage segment. Yeah. Yep. And then you'd have the guy talk, whoever it was, face or heel. Then you'd have the video package match. Next, face
backstage?
or heel. Yeah, backstage segment. Then you go to the video package match.
Yeah, that's
backstage segment, video
had
package
a formula.
match. Nowadays it's like match, and then they barely do backstage interviews anymore.
Yeah, they do more just backstage where they're just talking to each other.
Yeah. they don't sit there in the main. Like, there's really not a thing where people go to just stand
Not
there
really anymore. I mean,
with
sometimes they
like
go
a
out into the
screen in the
crowd with
background.
Kathy Kelly and Jackie Redmond. Sometimes they'll go out in
That's
like one of
just
the areas.
that's just one of those things of an era
Mhm. So
where
that
they had
leads
the
to match,
backstage area.
yeah, backstage area. That leads to match number 7: Triple H, Chris Jericho, and Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, and Booker T. And this is really where Triple H is trying to get Ric Flair, because if you've ever watched what documentary is that? Is that in the Ric Flair documentary? It might be. Where Triple H around this
It's
time,
in all of them.
2002, around this time, Ric Flair wasn't really feeling himself personally, and Triple H had noticed this, and he wanted to get Rick back to being Ric Flair, the character. He wanted to get Ric Flair back, so he took him and paired him up with him and tried to get his confidence back, basically, and then that would eventually lead to Evolution stuff. But we're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the beginning of that, where they have Chris Jericho there and they're taking on Shawn, Kevin Nash, and Booker T, because Triple H and Shawn got that back and forth going. So
Yeah, there's so many different storylines that are involved in
yeah,
this
because you got Jericho and Michaels who
match.
hate each other. Nash had just come back.
Yeah,
All kinds of stuff
yeah,
going on.
yeah. It was built off the Triple H and the Click was all this
Mm-hmm.
was based off of. So you had Nash come back, and Shawn had the match with Jericho at Mania, but then Triple H had the match with Booker at Mania, and they kind of got
Very controversial
intertwined.
match.
And then Nash came out, and he was on both guys' side, and then Triple H made him choose, and
Mm-hmm.
basically chose for him, which then ticked off Kevin Nash. So just all that led to this match, which it was a decent 6-man tag. I mean, all those guys work pretty well together. They're all good
Mm-hmm.
workers. They all, besides Nash at this point, but he was doing his thing, and you could tell they were trying to
The
prompt
funny,
him up to be that big time adversary for Triple H.
the funny part about you saying as much as Nash could do at this point in his career, he goes on in TNA and has like 5 or 6 years where he's wrestling and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, in TNA it was all sporadic. He wasn't going main event.
No, he was
That
fighting
was
for the Legends title, and
the difference with what he's doing here. He's coming back to be a main event player,
yeah, against Triple H in the world title
and
picture.
he just didn't have that anymore.
No.
He's like in his TNA run's fine, but he's just doing tiny matches and little feuds and stuff like
He's
that,
being
or
Chet
he's a
Lemon.
background guy. So, but yeah, I give this match about I don't know. I was kind of on the fence with it, 3.25, 3.5, somewhere in there. It's a good 6-man. I like all the guys,
It's a
so it's
standard
hard for me
6-man
not to
tag
like
match.
the match. Yeah,
It's a standard 6-man
but
tag match.
it's a waste of a pay-per-view match to me, because you want your pay-per-view matches to mean something, and this one really didn't do anything except build the Nash and Triple H feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really
And
all it
then you
was.
feel like you're kind of you kind of wasting Booker in this, because he really didn't have anything to do with anything,
True.
and you're kind of wasted Jericho. I mean, he didn't like uh, Shawn, but I mean, it really wasn't anything. Nothing about this match was built for Jericho. He
No.
was just kind of there to be foil.
They needed a third guy for the team.
Yeah.
And they had Shawn in the match, so it made sense.
Yeah. It fit. It made sense all around. It was just kind of a waste.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I wrote on here, King has insane commentary about Booker T. I didn't write specifically what it was, and I'm upset that I forgot to write that down. I just remember Jerry the King Lawler saying something insane about Booker T.
I can't remember now.
It was something like racist, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was the whole WrestleMania story.
I know, that's why I said controversial match with Triple H. But I should have wrote it down because I can't remember now what it was. But
yeah, I'm trying to think now what it was.
He said something that was just out of pocket. I couldn't remember. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah,
But
I mean, was that shock you with the King?
No, absolutely
That
not.
was his gimmick.
It was probably Vince telling him in his ear.
Yeah, I mean, King's gimmick was to be out of pocket. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we go through the match. Shawn is the one who starts the match. He gets worked on most of the match, like a typical Shawn tag match. And he finally gets the hot tag to Kevin Nash. Crowd goes crazy. He starts taking out Triple H and the rest of the team. Booker T comes in, cleans the house, and hits a spinneroonie. Classic Booker T spinneroonie.
Yep.
Got to get one in. Nash takes apart the commentary desk, tries to put Triple H through it, but has help. He has to go help Shawn in the ring because Shawn's getting beat up by Jericho and Flair. Then Nick Patrick takes a ref bump, and Nash hits Jericho with the jackknife powerbomb, which I think the jackknife powerbomb is maybe my favorite version of the powerbomb. It's just got so much swag to it. I love the jackknife powerbomb. He just lets you go.
Oh yeah, it's all about what Nash does with it.
Yeah,
he makes it look so smooth.
He gets you up there and then he starts to bring you down. He just lets you fall. It's the best powerbomb.
Yeah.
So he hits Jericho with the jackknife, and then Triple H hits Nash with the sledgehammer. Got to have a sledgehammer in there. This is 2003 Triple H at the end of the day, and gets the win. So Triple H,
the great equalizer.
Triple H, Flair, and Jericho get the W. We move on to Cole and Taz giving an update on Rey Mysterio, and they basically have no idea what has happened to him. He's got a concussion.
Yeah, it was not much of it.
And they show replay of what happened, because as if we didn't already remember.
Yeah.
And then they move from that to Coach and King setting up The Rock. My autocorrect put Rick. That's funny. Rock and Goldberg, which leads to another video package, but it's the final one of the night because it's the main event. Rock cuts a promo backstage about Goldberg. He's out of control. So me and you talked about this while we were watching, because you were paying attention for this match. So
thank you.
So he Rock, this is his last match, like I said in the intro, before he goes away, and then he comes back for WrestleMania 20. But him knowing that this is his last match, this promo, if nobody's ever seen this promo that he cuts before he goes out for his entrance, go back and Google the Rock promo at Backlash 2003 before he goes out for Goldberg match. His eyes are out of control. I don't even know if he knows what he's saying. He's just saying random catchphrases, and it's the craziest Rock promo I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was going. He had been building this with the Hollywood gimmick.
Yeah,
anyway. But he just went full.
He took it like up another notch or two for this final promo.
Yeah, he was amped up. He was.
I don't know if he took some smelling salts or something before the match. I don't know what happened.
I'm sure he did something.
He was out of control. So we go from that to Rock's entrance and Rock versus Goldberg in the main event match. It takes a minute for the match to start. Obviously, we get the Goldberg entrance where he comes out from the locker room and stands in the pyro with the stuff going on him. I don't know how he can breathe that in. That's
breathing the fire.
Ugh, I don't know how he does that.
Love it.
So we get that.
I do love the Rock's entrance with my favorite Rock theme.
Where you smell the Rock
helicopter. No, it's not that one. It's the helicopter, and it just goes right into is cooked.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one.
Oh, it hits you right there.
And this whole match, The Rock is playing the gimmick of he's not afraid of Goldberg, but he actually is afraid of Goldberg. So it takes a minute for the match to start because Rock's scared, even though he's not saying he's scared.
Oh yeah, he's overselling.
Yeah, he's overselling. It's classic Rock oversell.
Yeah, he's doing the classic where he gets thrown and rolls.
Yeah, he's taking some big bumps that he's overselling.
His eyes are going crazy.
But it's a classic Goldberg match. You get a lot of Goldberg offense. Well, you get some Rock offense there for the beginning, and then you get some Goldberg offense. He gets the upper hand, but then Rock gets it back. He gets the upper hand back, and he takes the Rock bottom on Goldberg, pins him, but Goldberg barely kicks out, even though it did look like he was late to the kick out. But he gets out.
Yeah. There was definitely a little rust on Goldberg.
Yeah, and then Goldberg hits Rock with 2 spears and then a jackhammer for the win, and Goldberg wins on his debut.
Yeah, they gave us some decent time. I was glad about that. But
yeah, it had a good...
sometimes that's not for the best. Goldberg matches probably just need to be...
Yeah, Goldberg matches need to be under 5 minutes, I think.
But it was fine. Rock did his part. He made it... You think Goldberg's a monster.
Yeah, if it wasn't Rock, I don't know how good that debut match would have went.
Yeah, he keeps you entertained throughout the match. So Goldberg does the classic spear into the post.
Oh, classic!
He does that every match he's in that goes longer than a minute.
Did you give a rating for this one?
No, I was thinking probably 3.5.
Okay,
that's fine.
Yeah. So
it's average. That's my average.
Yeah, that's a fair average. So final thoughts
if the Rock's not in it, I'm not. Sorry, I was just saying if the Rock's not in it, it's probably a 2.5.
Yeah, it's probably 2.5 or 2, something like that.
Yeah,
but my final thoughts
for
My final thoughts for this pay-per-view. You could definitely tell it was The Rock's last match. Definitely. He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
he was putting the work in. He was going oversell, he was going full actor mode. Kind of like how Cena used to do like in 2024, 2023, like right when he would come back for those little spots, he would be super over animated on his face and everything.
Yeah.
That's
Freak
kind
out
of
every time the crowd made a noise.
yeah, that's kind of what Rock was
Yeah.
doing in this match here. Kevin
Yeah.
Nash could barely walk even back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bad.
He was working on them knees.
Yeah.
And then the final thing I have is the race spot is one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
Yeah, they just played it so odd with Booker. I don't know if that was a Vince thing. I mean, I'm sure it was probably a Vince thing, honestly, but it was just such a weird underline. They just never gave Booker that respect. And I don't know if that's a race thing, if that's a WCW thing, but
Maybe a mix of both.
they really messed with him in those early years.
Hmm They gave
After
him a
he
little bit of
came.
rub in '06.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of one of those like, hey, you paid your dues, kid. Here you go. You made the king gimmick work. Now let's give you the title. You
And then he
got
goes
hot.
on. Then he goes on to have a fine career, and he gets in the Hall of Fame. So, and now
Yeah,
he's hilarious on commentary.
he's something on commentary. I don't know how he's still married. Jesus, seriously.
It's
If I
good
was
stuff.
Chanel, I wouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't.
Goodness.
uh, all right. So, do you have any final thoughts on Backlash 2003?
Oh, it was a solid show. It was a classic mid 2000 WWE show.
Yeah, you
They're
had.
just trying to build your world title feuds.
Mhm. Yeah,
You're not really much undercard stuff.
you had a lot of storyline world title building. The weird Tori Stacy's through line the entire show was strange. Um,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, every match was tied to some sort of story, basically.
And
Which
something you don't really think about this time is at this point, WWE has no secondary titles. So,
no
they,
U.S. and Intercontinental.
no, US doesn't come until the end of 2000, like in the September 2003, somewhere in there.
Oh, I never thought about that.
And Intercontinental, which no one remembers, but in like 2002, when Kane was feuding with Triple H for the world title, they had a unification match.
Oh, that's
And
right.
he was and so the Intercontinental's gone. And then at Judgment, which is the very next pay per view, at Judgment Day in 2003, they had the Battle Royal for the Intercontinental title, and that's won by Christian. And then the very next night, he doesn't shave his head, but that's when he cuts all his hair off.
Oh,
He
okay.
changes his whole character after he wins the Intercontinental title on the new night. He goes to CLB
Oh,
with the short hair.
okay. I had
So-
completely forgot they didn't have any mid card
So
titles.
there's no real mid card. That's why you're getting 2 tag matches and a women's match
And a Sean
and you're
O'Hare
not
Rikishi
really-
match.
and a Sean O'Hare. I mean, you have no mid card at this point. So that's why like guys like Jericho and Booker in this, they had nothing else to do.
True. Yeah, if they
So-
weren't in this, then they would have been not on the show.
Yeah, so you just have nothing. There's nothing else to do for any of those guys. So we
Weird-
end up bringing those titles back, but it's just like you think about that WrestleMania too. Like that WrestleMania was built on like giant matches because there was no mid card.
Hmm
Like you had the 2 world title matches, you had the Vince and Hulk, you had the Rock and Austin. You didn't really have anything else.
Yeah,
So
and it's
it
weird.
was just a weird time for.
It's weird
WWE
to
at that
have
point.
not necessarily have the WWE title buried on the show, but it's match 6 on the card,
Yeah.
and then you have the match 7 and match 8 after, not even for the titles.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's just
Yeah,
it's strange.
this whole
that-
show was just built around Goldberg. Was all it was.
I know, but just strange to have. I mean, Brock Lesnar versus Cena. I know Cena wasn't. He's
Well,
not. We
this
can't
is
think of
the
him
point
as
where-
we think of him now because he was just coming up. But
Yeah.
still, Brock Lesnar's a big name. Cena was an up and comer. Like
Yeah, but at this point, the WWE title was on SmackDown, and SmackDown was always secondary.
I know,
But
but that's your flagship title. It just seems weird to have it.
well, that's why they had the world title. I mean, by this point, the world title is the flagship.
Well, I know it's that, but that's so funny because that world title it looks exactly like the WCW title. Wouldn't you think that that Vince wouldn't want that to be the flagship title,
Yeah, but he wanted Triple H to have it. That was the whole thing.
and he didn't want to work Tuesdays.
Yep. But yeah, it's a very weird time for WWE. They're still trying to figure out the brand split.
They're just trying to get under the WWE name.
They're building they still got the pay-per-views as WWE pay-per-views and not like Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views. They haven't split them yet.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird transition period.
So they're still like trying to figure out all that stuff. Once they get to where they split the time, they split all the stuff, they split the pay-per-views up, then you start to see them get more in the rhythm because then they can build SmackDown by its own and Raw by its own. But when they're putting everything together at this point, they just don't really have a good mix of what they're trying to do yet. So
yeah,
that's why it's such a hodgepodge show.
Mm-hmm. It definitely felt like that. It definitely felt very, very weirdly structured.
Yeah. You're just throwing whatever you can throw up against the wall that gets any kind of momentum. But, I mean, and think about the guys that are around at this time that aren't on that show. You got Taker's not even on this card.
True.
You know?
You got Biker Taker not even here.
Yeah, he's not on this card. I'm trying to think
well, Kurt, because he's hurt. He's got surgery.
Kurt's hurt. Edge was hurt. So he's not there. I mean, you just don't have a lot of players at this point. It was a very weird time for... They haven't made the new stars with the brand split yet, so... You get a guy like Cena, who at that point really was just rapping. He wasn't even really wrestling
nobody took him
much.
seriously.
So, it just was a very weird put-together card for WWE right after one of their best WrestleManias ever.
Yeah. Yeah, this is follow up to that WrestleMania. Seems a little weird.
But, you know, it's all built on the Goldberg thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And to be fair, I mean, we watched it again because of that. So.
Yeah, and I was about to say, even though it's a weird pay-per-view and overall wise, the reason we thought it was important to recap and rewind here on Wrestling Rewind is because of the Goldberg debut and how impactful that ended up being, maybe for good or bad, either whatever one you want to think of it as. Goldberg debuted. You had The Rock's last match tied into that, so we felt it was worthy to have on the Wrestling Rewind.
And I want to use this Wrestling Rewind as a kind of a
time capsule.
Yeah, but like a vessel to use it for things that, like, we could just go, like a lot of things, and just be like, oh, let's just rewatch all the WrestleManias.
Mm-hmm. But nobody's gonna think about Backlash.
But like, I want to use this for obscure things that people don't really talk about. You know, things that if somebody listens to this and goes, man, yeah, I haven't thought about Backlash with 3 and forever. It was good to just go over that, or so go over storylines that people forget about and stuff like that. So these are the perfect kind of things that I want to go over that kind of give people that, like, oh yeah, that I forgot that Kevin Nash came back and had a feud with Triple H, or I forgot Cena fought Brock before they were big time stars, stuff like that. So it's fun to explore those kind of things where, you know, everybody does the big time shows or the WrestleManias, the SummerSlams,
Royal Rumbles, Survivor Series.
I want to kind of hit those obscure things like the ECW show, stuff like that.
Yeah, and if people were gonna do ECW One Night Stand, they do 2006, not 2005.
So just stuff like that, stuff that somebody who listens and goes, man, maybe I should go back and watch that myself or something like that. So
yeah, just flip it on what's on Peacock. Just flip it on Peacock.
On the cock.
Or, I guess if you're international, flip it on Netflix.
Just whip out the cock and it's there for you. It's
all right.
Rusting.
Enough of Peacock talk. That's gonna do it for this.
You were talking about Peacock? Oh, sorry.
That's gonna do it for this episode of Wrestling Rewind. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on Spotify. Leave a comment if you want to talk with us about Backlash 2003 or any pay-per-view that the WWE or WCW has to offer. So that's gonna do it for us, and we'll catch you in the next one.
About the next one?
What's the next one? I don't even know. You tell me.
It's going to involve a little 3 little letters. TLC.
Oh, you're getting the juices flowing.
Think about that. I'm not telling you which one.
There is, 3 of them?
But think about that.
That's pretty.
There's more than 3, but.
Well, I mean, I would assume you're talking about the main TLCs.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh.
See, you're spoiling it for people.
Okay, well, I don't know, so. All right.
Oh, that's a really nice surprise.
I guess you'll have to wait and see, just like me, because I have no idea. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you in the next one.
I'm glad you're the host. Peace.
Welcome back to the Brothers of Wrestling podcast, and welcome back to another What?
Oh my God.
Another what? Another hoe.
Oh! You bring out the hose.
The hoe train. They're not on the show.
Oh, I knew. As soon as you started, I knew you were going to scream.
You didn't know.
I knew. I knew it was coming.
Restart. Good thing this isn't live.
God. He's supposed to be the one-take kid. What's going
No.
on there? I don't ever need a redo. Except for my thing.
Yeah, when
cut
you
out.
cut out, I had to cut out like 2
Well,
minutes.
that's not my fault.
All right, let's reset.
I play live.
Back
baby.
to one.
God.